Hey guys, my name is Katarina Berry. I'm an empath and I am currently creating 30 videos in 30 days to develop some content about empaths, about our unique struggles, our unique abilities, and just some of our characteristics and how to put it all together and apply to the real world in order to survive and to thrive. I'm doing 5 videos and this is one of these 5, talking about the different types of psychic empaths. Now, to make a little disclaimer, I believe that all people are psychic. We all have abilities and senses that we have not explored in that much depth due to partially ignorance and partially due to kind of being stuck in the way that we see the world and the way that we see each other. We accept animals more as psychic creatures because it seems that they can sense things and they can kind of sense each other out in the nature as our pets, and we kind of accept that they have these extra sensory abilities. But when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to other human beings, we're a little skeptical. We think it's a little, it's kind of uncertain, it's like pseudoscience, and we tend to kind of shut down and close off. But as an empath, you tend to have a lot more of these sensitivities prevalent in your life to the point where you can't ignore them. They are so evident, they are so day-to-day kind of part of your human experience that you can't just pretend it's not happening, because you might be able to do that several times, but when it's been your life for the entirety of your life, it's really hard to ignore. So unfortunately, a lot of empaths deal with these extrasensory abilities by ways of trying to get rid of them or trying to push them down and pretend they're not there, while using addictions as means of dealing with this inability to cope with these extrasensory powers. I've done that myself. I've used addictions as means of trying to ignore who I really am and trying to be someone I'm really not. And I know a lot of empaths struggle with this. So my primary goal in making these videos is to normalize a little bit these psychic abilities, these special talents, for the 4 different types of psychic empaths. And hopefully, if someone watches this and someone sees this video and recognizes themselves in some of these qualities, maybe they will feel a little more understood. Maybe they will feel a little more accepted, and like maybe someone else is out there going through this. Maybe someone else has these abilities. Maybe it's not so strange. Maybe it's not something that they should deny and try to make go away. So this is my primary goal, but also again, I believe all of us have psychic abilities, all of the human beings. It's part of our human nature, it's part of our animal nature, it's part of who we are. So you might just want to watch these videos to kind of see where you fall on the scale of psychic and how maybe some of your extrasensory talents manifest. So yeah, I encourage you to continue watching this one, but for every of the 4 categories I'm about to go through, there's a separate video that I've made that is going to show up right somewhere above my head, and it's going to be a separate link, and that separate video, all 4 of these separate videos, will be dedicated specifically to the category that we're going over. So if you want to know more details about a specific type of the 4 types of psychic empaths, please proceed to the link. If you think this kind of content is something that you appreciate, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And it will mean a lot, and you will be able to stay connected to these videos as they emerge. But without further ado, let's get to discussing the 4 different types of psychic empaths. Type number 1 is clairvoyant empath. Clairvoyance is the ability to see things either inside your mind's eye, so you might have your eyes closed, you might be daydreaming, you might just kind of look away, or kind of your vision might blur as to what you're looking at is static, it doesn't move, it's maybe just a you're just staring at the tree or staring at some object on the table, and all of a sudden you start getting these visions, but they're more internal. Or these can be external. These can be happening right before your eyes. These can be coming in as an overlay to what you're seeing in front of you. So you're looking at say again, a tree or a park bench, and as you're looking at it, there's another vision that just kind of comes over it, and then you're kind of seeing both at the same time. And the clairvoyance can also manifest as psychic dreams, as seeing presences, seeing other beings that don't have a physical body, such as spirits, such as angels, such as higher ascended beings like ascended masters, orbs, colors, seeing auras on people, being able to kind of have premonitions, like you see an event before it happens and then it happens, or you see something that's about to happen and maybe it doesn't happen for a while, but then it happens and it happens exactly as you saw it. So it's getting these warnings, it's getting these visions. It has a lot more of other manifestations, so make sure to check out the dedicated video, which is also linked down below. The second type of the psychic empath is the clairaudient empath. So the clairaudient empath usually hears things. They might be hearing things as ringing in their ear, as buzzing or ringing in their ear, as someone calling their name who isn't there, or when no one's there, as kind of overhearing either random parts of conversation that you're not really sure between whom is it even happening, or messages directly speaking to you, such as advice or instruction or a breakthrough or a suggestion not to do something. This can also be as just voices. This can be hearing something internally. So you don't hear a sound externally, but you hear a clear voice or a clear sentence inside your mind. And this can also manifest, again, through daydreams. This can manifest in a kind of like dreamy state where you're dozing off, about to fall asleep, very relaxed. This can come through in meditative states. For some people, it comes through technology. So all of a sudden you're listening to the television, but all of a sudden what you're hearing stops and you hear something else that has nothing to do with what's going on TV, but it comes through the television or the radio. This can also manifest as hearing those whom you've loved or known who are no longer here, and this can also manifest as hearing people's thoughts. So someone might be saying something to you, but you hear almost like their inner voice saying something completely different. Like very clearly you hear it. You might not hear it physically, but you hear it inside. This is what can happen to clairaudient empaths. Again, the specific video dedicated to all the signs that you can use to tell if you're a clairaudient empath are linked down below. The third type of the psychic empath is the clairsentient empath. So clairsentient empath is essentially also known as the empath. Clairsentience is the ability to feel things very deeply, to feel things on a whole another level that is not normal. It's the ability to feel other people's emotions. It's the ability to feel the pain of the planet. It's the ability to feel the pain of animals that are either mistreated, or you see an animal that is struggling, and it's beyond just, you know, feeling bad for the animal, it's feeling the animal's pain. Some of the clairsentient empaths are able to connect to other people by feeling the pain that other people feel in, say, a certain organ if they're sick, or certain part of their body. When this type of empath encounters a person who has pain in a certain area of their body, they feel pain in the same area of their body, which is pretty incredible. But it can also be very alienating, because it sometimes can make you feel like you're losing your mind, as all of these psychic abilities can. So clairsentient empaths are also very attuned to the moods of the room, of the organization. For example, if they work in an environment where everyone's constantly angry and competitive and backstabbing and there's a lot of drama and gossip, they might feel physically sick being in that environment for a long time because they are so sensitive. So they absorb all of these emotions, all of these negative moods from people, and then they kind of internalize that, and then they might be suffering from being exposed to that for a long period of time. Clairsentient empaths are extremely empathic, and this can help them relate to people on a deeper level and really connect to someone's emotions without having experienced the same things as this person. They're able to understand the experiences this person is going through because they're able to feel what the person feels sitting right next to them, in this unexplainable type of way. So this is the clairsentient empath. There's a lot more traits and signs that you might be one. So make sure to check out the video. It's linked down below. That's specifically dedicated to this type. The fourth and final type of psychic empath is the claircognizant empath. So claircognizance is the ability to download thoughts either from other people, from higher realms of being, from animals, from works that have been created previously that you don't have access to. The most interesting way this can manifest is, say for example, you're working through a problem, you're struggling to find solution, you've been asking this question like, how do I solve this, how do I solve this, how do I solve this, a million times, and then all of a sudden, without doing research, without finding the answer somewhere else, you just get the answer. This is a lot, so this can be attributed to a lot of scientists, brilliant scientists like Tesla, like Einstein, who would be in this kind of almost like meditative state sometimes where they would get the ideas, get the invention, they would just see it. And of course, there's a lot of effort and curiosity and kind of preparation, interest in this specific area of science that they would previously express, but a lot of their intentions they would attribute to this higher intelligence that would just bring it to them because they were in this receptive state. This is an example of claircognizance. Another way that claircognizance can sometimes be expressed is when, say, a child, this has happened to me, and this is not the only thing that can happen, but this often happens to empathic kids when you're in school and you're wondering about, you're sitting there working on a problem, you don't really know the solution, you might not even know the rule, you haven't applied all the rules, you haven't worked through the problem like a math problem or a physics problem, and all of a sudden you just get the solution. You didn't cheat, you didn't look at someone else's paper, you just got the solution. You don't know how, you don't know why, and you just write it down, and then you get like an F because there is no way that you can show the work that you've done to get to that solution even though it's correct. This has happened to me on multiple occasions, which is kind of why I withdrew from math a little bit, because I was very frustrated because I kept getting these answers and I wasn't really doing the work, and so it felt like I was losing my mind, and so I really disconnected. And then I met a teacher actually in my college years who understood exactly what was happening to me somehow, and she worked with me and with this ability that I had to the point where I aced math because I was able to learn the ways to solve the actual problems while still being validated for these answers just coming to me sometimes. And she was very patient with me, and she recognized this as something that was perhaps something that she could personally relate to. So this is the fourth type of empath, which was the claircognizant empath. And again, there's a special video dedicated to this type, so make sure to check it out if you feel like you might be one. One important thing, remark that I want to make about all these four types of psychic empaths is that they're not mutually exclusive. It's not like if you're one, you can't be another one as well. You can be all four. You can have certain abilities that are more developed. You can have a certain type that you relate to more, that is more expressed in you, that you are more identified with, so to speak. But essentially, you can have all four to an extent. And it's actually interesting to look into the other types that you might not be as developed in, because you might want to develop them. Once you stop fighting who you really are as an empath, once you stop rejecting these special gifts that you have, you can pioneer them, you can share them with other people, you can use them to relate to people, to heal people, to come up with incredible inventions, to get these brilliant ideas, to understand people on a deeper level, to communicate with energies, spirits, beings that are not physically in the body. You can have so many incredible, magical, fascinating experiences. Your life can become this incredible, mysterious journey of constant discovery, endless exploration, and so much excitement. But first, you have to accept yourself for who you are. You have to allow yourself to be who you are, and you have to stop fighting who you are through addictions, through trying to ignore yourself, trying to become someone you're not, trying to fit into a tiny little uncomfortable box that just keeps you all sorts of crumbled up and miserable. So it's up to you ultimately, but if you have special abilities, they were given to you for a reason. And please remember, all people have special abilities. You don't have to be an empath to have special abilities. But often if you are an empath, you can share these special abilities in a way that is so mind-blowing, so eye-opening to others, that you can inspire others to embrace who they are more. And that is ultimately my goal with these videos. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you're interested in the 4 types and more details, I have a lot of signs for each of the types, and you can check all these videos out down below, and they will also show up on the screen in a few seconds. So with this being said, if you have any questions, if you want to add something, if you want to request something, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Your subscription means the whole world to me, because I'm just starting out on YouTube. And if you're an empath, or you're dating someone who is an empath, or your kid is an empath, please make sure to subscribe, because I hope to create more videos that will help enlighten you and understand the world of empaths a little better. Again, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, y'all take care. Love you so much. Bye.